Hey, and welcome to another episode of Bite Size Chat. Today, I'm going to be sitting down with a very interesting guest, someone who is in the media industry, who is in the fashion industry, but also runs a few other businesses. And I'm going to be cooking something special for her. So hope you stick with us and enjoy Bite Size Chat. Kalii is a dynamic young entrepreneur, founder and a model who blends luxury, passion for sports and modeling to redefine success on her own terms. At just age 24, she's a powerhouse and owner behind multiple brands including Kalii, a bespoke diamond and pearl jewelry brand, Istana, the talent management agency, and the Knights professional 3v3 basketball team. As a model, Kalii has done runway shows in Paris, Italy, and Taiwan for big luxury brands, featuring on the front cover of Vogue Taiwan, and also featuring recently in the Taiwan fashion show. Welcome.
Thank you.
So we've got some fish for you and some vegetable.
Like jiaozi.
Jiaozi.
Yes.
That's it. That's the one.
Jiaozi.
I promise you there's no salt.
Oh.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's great.
Your chopstick skill is not too bad.
No, it's bad. Like, it's totally wrong.
This is his crust it.
Yeah.
You've broken the myth. You've broken the myth that every Asian person knows how to use a chopstick.
Right.
What's your favorite?
You mean among these two? Mm-hmm. Oh, I actually love the fish and the chili oil.
Okay.
So great.
Okay. Well, that's all yours. Enjoy. Once we finish eating, we just go sit down and then just let everybody know who Kalii is.
Okay, no problem. Thanks for having me.
All right. Hi, Kalii.
Hello, Ernest.
Oh, well, thank you for coming.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you for making the time. I'm super excited. And I think one thing that I can't figure out.
Yep.
So you're an entrepreneur.
Yes.
You're a founder.
Yes.
A businesswoman. All of it. You do all of it. You're into sports. You're into entertainment. You're into jewelry. You make some customized diamonds and pearl. What do you not do?
I don't do bad things.
You don't do bad things. That's brilliant. How would you describe yourself and what you do?
I think I would describe myself as a person with good energy and positive, always.
Yeah, I know that. You're a fun-loving person. And it's almost as though you're a magnet as well. So like you draw people in.
Yeah, true. That's what a lot of people say about me.
Okay. And how long have you been in business?
I would say I started when I was like 16.
Okay.
So I would say like 8 years.
8 years.
From learning to now really into the business and actually starting it myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, recently.
Yeah. But you're also from a business background. So your family have businesses in Taiwan?
Yes.
Can you tell us a bit more about that side of things?
Yeah. So my father is a diamond wholesaler, and we do diamond wholesale business in Taiwan for over 30 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
And did you get involved in the diamond business when you were young?
Yes. So, I mean, when I was young, seeing like diamonds all on the table was something very normal. But at the same time, my dad always reminded me to tell people that if somebody asks me what we do at home, we just say, picking stones. So I actually said that. And so growing up, everybody thought that my family picks stones from the floor. And yeah, that's why.
That's
Yeah, and then after when I was 15, 16, I started to go into our company
Yeah.
and then do part-times and
Yeah.
work with my dad all the time.
Wow. So you literally just started from, I guess, when you were born or something. You've just been all around the business. And so it's just diamonds, or is it just other businesses?
Natural diamonds.
Diamonds, okay.
Yeah.
And how much of that did your dad get you involved in?
When I was young, I lived with my mom. So
Yeah.
it was really after when I was in middle school that I started to be more involved with my dad.
Okay.
And when my dad does business, it's really like day and night.
Okay.
So it's the whole day,
Yeah.
the whole week, nonstop. We don't really talk about anything in life. It's really always about business.
Okay. So when you were around your dad learning about the business, did you feel at some point maybe you've lost some kind of childhood?
I wouldn't say I lost, but I would say that I
Missed out?
started moving myself out of childhood earlier than other people that are at my age.
Yeah. And how was that like? Because, I mean, all of a sudden you're in the business, you know, so your mom and dad were in Taiwan, Taipei, or in Taichung?
So my mom was in Kaohsiung, and my dad
right.
was in Taipei.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you moved to Taipei to live with your dad and then joining the business. I mean, it must feel a lot of pressure.
For sure. It was a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
But at that time, when I was at that stage of my life, I never saw that as pressure or stress. I just felt like it was challenge, and just tell myself that, oh, if I follow this, I will become a better person.
Yeah.
I will become successful.
Yeah.
So that I would just keep telling myself that repeatedly.
Was there anything at the time that you felt, apart from obviously learning the business from your dad, understanding how the stones are picked, was there anything else in that moment that shaped you? You look back and say, okay, this is why I am who I am today.
If we talk about like personality, I would say it's more like when I was growing up.
Okay.
And when I'm talking about like business,
Yeah.
I think one thing that I recently realized is there was a time when my dad would be mad that I don't get what he wants. Maybe he just put his head down and then he expect that I know that he need a cup of water, something like that.
Without saying it?
Without saying it.
Okay.
And I was very confused, and I felt like it's impossible. How would I read your mind? And then after these years recently, when I'm starting to be more involved with people and like really trying to see what people want, I realized that is something like an ability that I can get because I already think further.
Okay.
And I think that was always a lesson he wanted to tell me, to think before someone tell you to do something, or to already think of possibilities that might happen so that when problems come in, you can solve it.
Okay.
So I would say that was one of the lessons that...
Okay. So it's just getting you to think ahead.
Yes.
And then you think that's shaped you now as, you know, you recently started, well, just say recently, about a few days ago, you started your own...
This year.
Yeah, you started your own business. You've opened your own line of talent management.
Yes.
And this is something that you apply a lot of the knowledge from your dad's business too. But you also do your own diamond business.
I turned my family business from B2B to B2C.
Okay.
Yeah, so my part was to making it into a more athletic and young image to show to the younger generation people.
Okay. And how easy was your dad? How easy was it for your dad to let go?
Oh, okay. So I think during that time, it was actually after COVID. No, like during COVID.
Yeah.
So he also started to realize that internet is the new thing.
Yeah.
And it's during that time, it was so important.
Yeah.
Because people really can't meet each other.
Correct. Yeah.
So I think I took part to really persuaded him, and also he also encouraged me to do some cool things which I could connect more with my friends in different countries with the pearls.
With
at that
with the
time.
pearls, okay.
Yes.
I mean, they're expensive. Why are you just playing with pearls?
Oh, yeah. So yeah, we were actually playing with it,
Wow, okay.
doing all the marketing ideas, taking pictures, thinking what we can think outside of the box about pearls, because we don't want people to think that only rich people or only older people will style pearl with your outfit. Yeah. So at that time, I just started to put pearls on all of my outfit,
Okay.
and then putting it on men and try a lot of new things from Taiwan to France, and also trying it with friends in Italy, just creating different images.
Yeah, but it is very popular these days to see people with pearls, in a different fashion sense. Because usually you would see people with pearls as like old ladies or, with nice and stylish, but it wasn't for younger people. You mentioned about France and Italy. You're into modeling.
I am.
Okay. Do you still do that?
I still do that part-time.
Okay. You say part-time, but you're like Vogue.
Oh yeah, the other day.
The other day.
I was
just,
lucky.
Just the other day.
I had the privilege to get interviewed.
Okay. Oh, that's awesome. And was it Vogue Taiwan or was it Vogue Asia or?
That was Vogue Taiwan. Yeah.
Okay. What other campaigns have you been involved in? Campaigns, like fashion campaigns.
Jewelry kinds, actually, like Bushidto.
Okay.
Yes, the high-end jewelry brand, and Damani.
Okay.
Yes, and also like shows in the Region Hotel where they gather up all the different brands.
Right,
together.
right.
Yeah.
You went into e-bikes.
Oh yes.
I mean, were you trying to compete with the yellow bikes? What do they call them again? In the Taiwan yellow bikes, to get them everywhere.
Oh.
Were you trying to compete with a brand? Or?
I think I wasn't trying to compete, but trying to bring in the wholesale ideas into it.
Okay.
Because from the States, other countries, all the e-bikes are super expensive. And then people are just not able to get it.
Yeah.
And then at that time, it was also during the COVID time. And it was started with my dad. We thought of, hey, how about we just import some
E-bikes.
e-bikes, but how do you call the...
Oh, not assembled.
No, not assemble. Like, I had to assemble it ourselves.
You did it yourself?
Yeah. And then we just had it in our little office and just fixed everything up. And we had some inventory. And then from that on, we're thinking like, okay, who do we want to sell it to?
Well, so you didn't think about who to sell it to before it came in?
Yeah. But then fun thing was that we just started a Bushidto gang.
Okay.
We call it Bushidto, and then I started a gang. So people around me started to find it really cool, fashion, and trendy.
What's Bushidto again?
Bushidto, so Bushidto is actually the Japanese word of bushi, which is like ninja.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Bushidto is a group of ninja together. So Bushidto gang is a bunch of people riding the e-bike.
Okay.
And we become a cool, trendy gang.
Okay.
So that actually worked. Yeah. And a lot of cool and trendy friends and people started to want that bike.
Okay.
And that just started like a fashion e-bike membership.
But that's was a membership?
No, it wasn't.
Oh,
community.
But
everybody kind of hashtag
yeah.
Bushidto gang.
Wow.
Or when people see some e-bike on the road, they recognize it as Bushidto. And they would share it with me. I was like,
wow.
Yeah.
So you changed, I guess you kind of changed the phase of what e-bikes was like. People had something to associate it to. Yeah, at the time.
I wouldn't say that I was trying to change the e-bike image or community, but started to learn from how I can gather people together.
Yeah, together.
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. I mean, if we're going to go on about what you do, it's going to be endless. But I really want to touch on this. You have a basketball team.
Yes. Yes, a professional 3x3 team.
Okay, and they're based in Taipei.
Yes.
Okay, and then they run competitions, invitationals to other. How did that come about? Because it's so different. I mean, I know you're into your fitness and sports and everything
Yes.
else, but you come from jewelry to e-bikes to talent management and a basketball team.
Yes. So that was 2022,
Yeah.
December, where
Excuse me. Yeah.
my friends, actually have a lot of talented friends. There's a lot of designers,
Yeah.
photographers, and we just started an idea of starting an entertainment business.
Okay.
And when we were starting to talk about that topic, one day when we were in the meeting, one of my close friend, which is my partner now,
Yeah.
like business partner, he said, you know what? I actually wanted to start a basketball team.
Okay.
And I was like, sure, why not? What's stopping you?
Yeah.
And then he kind of listed down a lot of things that are making it
Yeah.
impossible,
Okay.
from like the money, the resource, the time. It's just almost impossible. So I was telling him, let's do it. Why not?
Wait, so you didn't see the impossibilities?
I did not see the impossibilities.
You're crazy.
And I think that has to take credits to my dad. One thing, to get back to what you were asking,
Yeah.
he sort of make me believe nothing is impossible.
That's brilliant.
So back to that time in 2022, I was like, it's not impossible. Let's do it. And the concept was bringing fashion and basketball, so fashion and sports together. And my other business partner, he's in also designing, clothing design industry. And then at that time, I was in like luxury and fashion.
Yeah.
So it's like, we can do it.
Yeah.
And then after I met my other partner, which is my boyfriend, and at that time I was sharing with him only about this concept, and I was kind of selling it to him and say, I'm gonna start this business.
Yeah.
And then he said, 3x3?
Yeah.
I did 3x3 back in France.
Oh,
I was
okay.
like, no way.
Yeah.
You're kidding. Because actually, I am the one that is having the least knowledge of basketball at that time, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, that's impossible. So how about we work together?
Yeah.
And I told him about this concept, and then I bring him to meet my other partner and just connect everyone together.
So you had your friend who has the idea.
Yes.
And listed all the impossibilities.
Yes.
You were the person who looked at the impossibilities and thought, okay, that's one way to do it.
Yes.
Because it's impossible. You're telling me it's impossible. I'm going to show you that it's possible.
Yeah.
And then you went to your boyfriend, who is actually the knowledge behind the basketball.
Yes. And at that time, he was not my boyfriend. So
Okay.
it was really just going to him and share this idea, like in a business concept.
Yeah.
And just think of putting the resource all together. And luckily, he actually also have a group of basketball friends that totally match our vision, because they were stylish, cool, and most importantly, with great energy. So quickly we put everyone together, had a big meeting, and tell about all of our plans and what we want to do and how we want to bring Taiwanese talents to the world.
Okay.
And what was great is that 3x3 is an international sport where we can connect to the global FIBA 3x3 professionals.
So 3x3 is essentially not a full court. How far can you take that?
So 3x3 furthest, I would say like Olympics.
Okay.
Yeah, it's listed in Olympics. Yeah, actually, our players are now in the top 5 players in Taiwan. So they are potentially able to be picked to become national players.
Wow.
Yeah.
Something I wanted to talk to you about is you're into your fitness. Have you always been a confident person?
Definitely not.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember when I was 18, vividly, the image is that I was at school with a book, laying on the grass, reading it every day. And the title is The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. I had to read books.
I've read that book.
Right?
Yeah, I've read that book.
Thinking I was a teenager and I had all those, everybody's problem, which is caring too much about the appearance, what other people think about you. So with this memory now, I see the big change. At that time, I had to convince myself all the time to not care that much. And until now, I feel like I have accepted myself and love myself.
Did you not accept yourself before? Was it something that you were struggling with, as accepting who you are and your personality?
More confident.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
But when I was at school, there was time when some of my teachers or classmates didn't really like to see that I am more able to express myself or outstanding compared to others.
Yeah. Is that common though? Because I think this is my just observation. I feel most younger people here in Taiwan or Asia, maybe it's an Asian culture.
That's true. So I think what's different I'm not talking about like skills or ability, just my look. I was already like always the tallest at school, so it's easy to be seen, and I was used to it, and I accept the fact that I was taller. But when you talk about like expressing, I'm also not talking about skills, but let's say just simple as taking a picture. Some people take picture in a very serious way, but I remember there was a time when I was maybe 10 and I had a trip with my classmate and teacher, and we took a group photo together. And I remember that time I was just being me. I was like so happy. And the teacher took the camera down, and he was like, "Kalii, can you please stop doing that? Why do you have to be so? Can you just be normal like what other people are doing? Do you see how they are smiling in the pictures?"
Oh, okay.
And actually, the reason why I'm saying that is because that actually did impact me. I started to feel like not everybody likes outgoing personality. Not like if you're always happy, everybody will like you. And so during that time, I was kind of adjusting myself and become a bit more. That's when I start caring about what other people think about me, because it's not like just experience of people talking about you. No, the person said it right in front of your face, in front of everyone. So I started to kind of question myself and be a little bit more not that situations. And
And did that affect you in your work life as well as you grow up? Are you seeing about you?
Now I wouldn't say completely,
Okay.
but there was definitely time when now I care more about how people think about me, because I am actually giving myself more stress to be a good person and to don't make mistake. So that is why at this stage I'm more caring about if I'm doing how I want to present myself as. But back in the days, it's more like whatever I do, whatever I dressed up, how my face looked like, if it's those kind of things.
Right. Yeah. I can imagine that, because in school, whatever someone says can always stick with you, and you just feel like it might just be one person's opinion, but then you think, oh, this is what everybody think.
Yeah.
And then you go around and just sort of magnify that to the whole school, and you think the rest of the 500 or 1,000 students in the school always think of me like this. And it can be difficult to navigate, school. What I wanted to just understanding of is, obviously you had the struggle of understanding what your dad want, trying to read his mind, and then now in school you're dealing with this. How did you navigate, the whole pressure at home, pressure in school, friendship, and did you feel isolated because everybody's looking at this?
Yeah, I think if I compare myself with other people, most of I would say like growing up, most of my other friends, they're more like penguins. They always are together, but a group of pig people stick together. But you're right. I always kind of isolated myself and do things by my own. And but what's different was like at that time I did love to join every kind of performance, contest, speech. I would be there expressing myself. But when it's time when people are having lunch or group discussing, I kind of tend to just do it by my own because I didn't want to get into some where people call it like gossiping, or everybody would be like a group of people chatting about things that are not that important at that time, I would say.
Obviously, that sounds like a grown up already.
Actually, it is. Looking back.
Yeah, making those decisions not to get involved in gossip. That's what makes school fun, get involved in a gossip.
So that reminds me of something. The reason why I don't do that is because of what I just said. I look taller, so I'm always if you see from far away, you probably don't see my classmates, but you will see me. So my mom suggested me if other people are doing some gossip or not that good things, don't be involved. Just
because you'll be picked
the teacher,
out.
Yes,
everybody will see you.
So I learned from that, and so I just removed myself from all those group thinking. And when you mentioned about my dad, because this is definitely during the time, right? It was kind of from when I say 10 to 15, and then 15, right, going into work with my dad, that become even more stressful because when I was at school, it was like a children mode. You just have to say what you want to say, whatever is on your mind, and nobody will actually get mad at you.
Yeah.
But when I was going into this business side, I need to really think very hard of what I want to express myself. I cannot take too much time, too much of my dad's time or the client's time. I need to be on point. I need to know what I actually want to express. So I started to have a struggle in my brain that I kind of just want to shut myself down and just only listen to other people because I'm so afraid of wasting people's time. I'm afraid that I'm not making my point. And I remember the time when we're just having dinner with my dad, and my dad also has his new family. And it's always about business topics. And one time, my dad and his wife turned to me, and then they said, "Do you hear yourself?" And then they just turned on their phone and started recording me. And and my dad's wife said, "Just listen to yourself. You will see how pointless you are saying, and nobody will be interested in a conversation where you cannot hear any important things. Like we have no time for chatting."
Oh, wow.
So I put the phone here. You talk to it, and you can go home and see. Look, like really.
You hear back what you're saying.
Yes. And
why was that?
I think I never knew, but if I want to be positive, now I look back, I just feel like, okay, maybe that was like training me to really be a specific way or how they wanted me to be.
Okay.
Yes.
Did that affect you?
For sure. I actually, it still affects me until today, and I'm started to kind of adjust myself. But I get a lot when my friends will, when I'm just chilling and talking to my friends, and they would remind me and say, "You don't have to be so stressful. You're not presenting any like proposal to me."
Yeah.
Because I started to be drawing out keywords for them, I would say. So I'm going to tell you about this today, and then later I will be breaking down into all these. So I started to not be able to just tell stories in a natural way because I was so stressful.
So everything was all like sort of given to you. You have to sound a certain way. You have to smile a certain way. You have to
Exactly, even smiling. Yes.
Really?
Yes. So what's funny is that growing up, everybody kind of know that I love to smile. Like, I
mean, that's the first thing you do. Not even speaking to the person, you just start from like miles out, smiling to people.
Yes, I just love to smile. But I think it was also when that time that I was confused, I was stressful. I don't know what it was. And facing my dad and my dad's wife, I couldn't really be me. So I don't even know how my face was, but then they started to tell me that I look mean, I look arrogant, and that I am very rude, stuff like that.
Okay.
And then I just started to force myself to keep up that smile all the time because avoiding people to think in a negative way. So from when I was young, the smile was like truly happiness too. There was a certain time where I was so tired and I felt like I had to wear masks to face people so that they would accept me of how I want them to think I am.
Yeah. That's tough.
That was.
And I mean, it's one thing coming from outside, friends or something, and maybe when you go home, you get the kind of, warm embrace. It's okay. It's just your friends that don't worry too much. But if it's coming from home, where your dad's wife is telling you, you can't smile this way, or you can't say these things because you don't sound meaningful, or you sound pointless. I mean, there is no escape because when you go to school, one way the teachers are telling you, don't smile, don't, be yourself. You're at home, that's why everyone's is telling you, don't talk, don't smile.
That is very true. Because my dad and my mom separated since I was very young. So on my mom's side, I always act even more independent and strong to protect her feelings. So when things like this happen, I did not mention to her. And of course, I did not mention to any of my friends. Because of my personality, I would keep all the things to myself. And at the other hand is I was afraid of wasting their time listening to my negative thoughts or whatever. So I just started to store everything into my mind myself and then forcing myself to present myself in a happy way. So it was like really confusing at that time.
How did you get out of it?
So I remember having a conversation with one of my friends one night, and I was like, hey, can you just give me a suggestion? Because I actually feel so stressful and I don't know who to tell. But I feel like I'm wearing a mask and I don't know what to do anymore. Like, I just don't know what to do. And even till now, I think that was very helpful. He told me, it's okay. You can wear mask. You can have no mask because you are you in any different aspects. You could be a daughter. You could be a friend, a listener, any different kind of role, but that is you. And I started to think, true. Because I thought I had to be all the same in all the same principles, all the same situations. I have to face people in the same way.
Yeah.
But then I was just thinking, I can relax. It's nowadays I say we're all here experiencing Earth for the first time. Why am I stressing myself so much?
That's very true.
I'm also learning to be a better person. I'm learning to face situations. So just relax. So I started to train myself when I'm like talking to someone.
Yeah.
And then I just put my face down, like, don't need to stress your smile. And then I just started to really walk through that process myself.
You know, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. And with this, it's almost as though you are also embracing your imperfections at the same time. And you share a story of their imperfections.
Yeah. So when I started my jewelry brand, I was thinking of, as a young age, nobody would be able to get diamonds because most of the people's understanding of diamond is unreachable, super expensive, perfection, and a lot of labels on it.
Yeah.
And what I started to realize, what's special about diamonds, is that the reason why it's so unique and rare is because of you can never find the same diamond in this world. There won't be the exact same ones. There's definitely, there are going to be diamonds that look different, shine different. And in diamonds, some people say that it's like flaws, where if there's some inside, that makes it a flaw. But because we do the diamond wholesale business, we get to make our clients ourselves. We can go into the diamond world. We can see it ourselves. And when exploring the diamond myself, I realized that that's just like humans. This is like our freckles, like our all the different features that we don't like about ourselves. We're just like diamonds. That's what makes us special. And diamonds are the strongest rock in the entire world. And because it was made out of high heat, high pressure, and just like us human, everybody can go through a lot of stress, a lot of difficulties, under a lot of challenge. But that makes ourselves into diamonds. So when I started the jewelry brand, a lot of people called me like the diamond girl whatsoever. I appreciate it more when people start to see me as related to diamonds, because I want to share to the world that we should be real, not perfect. A lot of people nowadays want to get the perfect diamonds, flawless, super clean, super brilliant, super bright, perfection. And they forget the truth of what makes it unique. Because if you want a perfection, if you want a perfect diamond, you just get a fake one. Because you just get a fake one, and then they make it into the fake version of it, and then there's nothing special. So I started to understand more about how unique humans are and how we should embrace all these
imperfection. That's wonderful. That's just, and I think we don't think of ourselves like that. I say this because, in a way, you've been privileged to be exposed to diamonds and to see all of this. Not many people will see it, but what you're doing is, with your brand, you're exposing it to the world. Many people who've never been close to diamonds like that, but you're sharing something different about it. And I believe that's how you named your jewelry brand.
Oh, yes. So my jewelry brand is Kalii Jewelry, which is related to my name. And so my name Kalii is from my nickname. Growing up, everyone called me Kalii because that means curry in Chinese. Because I love to eat curry. It's my favorite food. I can eat that every day. Japanese curry, Indian curry.
Yeah.
I love it. So of course, when I was naming my brand, I was like, oh, just Kalii jewelry makes sense. And like I mentioned to you, I started to work with my friend in France, and I shared with her about this name, and then she was like, Kalii, you know what? This is a beautiful name.
Yeah.
And because I also speak French, but I didn't think of that. Actually, Kalii in French means qualité, which in English means quality. And in France, they say c'est quali. That means this is quality. So quality jewelry is what I want to present to my clients, people. And when I talk about quality, it's from the inner self. It's from the inner of the diamond. It's not just the outer side, not just the appearance. It's inner and outer.
It's all of it. The imperfections in it.
Yes.
The rough cuts.
Yes. And the journey that makes it good quality.
How old are you again?
24.
An experience? They must look at you like, okay, we're not doing something right.
Oh, I think I wouldn't say that, but I do say that I'm like an old lady. I think I'm like...
You have an old soul,
I have
but a
old
younger
soul.
personality.
Yes.
That's, yeah, I think I can relate to that, for sure. For sure. I mean, the journey now is almost begun, even though it started many, many years ago, because you've started a talent management company.
Yes.
Why go into that? You have all of it already. You have your basketball team set up. You have your diamond and jewelry. You're into fashion and modeling.
I think the roots of the reason why I want to do this business is because the fact that I learned that no matter how much resource you have, you should find a way to give it back.
Okay.
And like I mentioned to you earlier, all of my friends around me are super talented. Like, I can learn so much from everyone. And I also mentioned to you last time, 8 years ago.
Yeah.
The 8 years.
I
started my
the
YouTube channel.
Yes.
And I remember when I was at that time I was 16. Yeah, 16. And then I said to the camera, I said, so I have all these friends that are so talented. I want to bring that up to my channel. I want to show them to the world. I want to share how great they are.
Yeah.
And during these 8 years, I realized that, okay, I have my resource. I have connection. I built up the journey. And now I should give back to them.
Yeah.
And starting from the sports brand, the sport team, we already had this concept.
Yeah.
But it was mainly focusing in sport industry.
Right.
And now in talent and business management, it's really about all aspects. And a lot of time, a lot of talents, they couldn't really speak up for themselves.
Right.
When it's especially in business, a lot of people tend to take advantage of them.
Right.
And all that. And I realized that I want to speak up for them. I want to protect their rights.
Yeah.
And I want to be the person to connect them with the world and more opportunities.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so this is one of the...
It's interesting because we had that conversation, and I was telling you 8 years ago.
Yes.
I didn't go on YouTube, but I was thinking about doing this.
Yes.
Because I'm so fortunate. I say this, and I have amazing friends around me. And at that time, I was looking at all my friends in different industries. Some are lawyers, doctors, engineers, biomedical scientists, all sorts. And I really wanted to bring them around. And I love cooking. Yeah. So I thought, okay, I'm going to get my friends around. I'll cook, and then we can talk about how we got through to going to university. And most of us, well, actually all of us, we went to the same university. So I thought, we can share how our university experience was, how we got to do the course we're doing. And now that we're in industry, we're in the industry, how are we finding it? Some of my friends at the time were doing their law degrees in different universities. Some are going to Cambridge, doing their masters. Some are going to, different universities, studying different things. And I thought it would be nice to share this with people, right? Because one, they're brilliant people.
Yes.
And they're also super, super smart, and it will be a waste if other people don't get to know how they've put it all together to be where they are. And the journey wasn't complete, but it would also be nice for people to know that, there is, it's not always about seeing a complete picture,
yes,
but also understanding what people have gone through.
Yes.
And I never did it. And until obviously now I'm doing it, I've managed to get time and confidence and everything to do it. So that's a very similar thing that we share.
Yes.
And I found that very interesting. It was around the same time, 8 years ago.
8 years.
But at least you got the camera. You were confident more than I was at the time. You got the camera to record it and do it.
I remember back in the day, at that day, the camera was here. I couldn't even face my camera. Like, going back to that video now, I just find it very funny because my face was literally like facing this way. It seems
and
like
not
I
looking
was
in the camera,
not at
looking
all,
elsewhere.
Not at all, because I was not confident enough. That's why. So it's like everything was connected.
Yeah.
Especially like your questions and all the thoughts.
Yeah.
It just connects.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've grown up in a business with your dad growing. Do you sometimes feel that even now that you're doing it by yourself, with all the success that are coming to you, do you sometimes get that, oh, you're doing that because of your dad?
I would say even if I didn't hear people say in my face, it's definitely inside someone's mind. And actually from when I was maybe 16, 17, my dad's wife already reminded me, and she would say, and I'm not trying to put this in a negative way or to criticize anything, but she would say that you would be nothing if you are not your dad's daughter, and always label me as the daughter of the diamond wholesaler, which I didn't really label myself as that. But then they also told me that every friend that I have only came to me because of my background, only see me as the stuff like that. And then actually so it was during, I would say, 2022 to 2023. It was really recently, but I started to really look clearly into how people treat me, what the relationship I have with people. And I was already categorizing all my friends in very deep level.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Close friends, true friends, acquaintance, all these things. And then I just started to look clearly into everything that I have. And I understood that, oh, no, actually people like me the way I am. Actually, I can grow myself out, like bloom myself like a little flower. And to answer your question, yes, even just probably last week, I still got introduced by one of my friends to her friend as a daughter of a diamond wholesaler. And I just felt like, it's not a bad thing, but I do want to become who I am. And everything that my family has is not mine. Everything that my family owns is not mine. And I want to build this journey, this path by myself.
And I'm sure you will. I'm sure you would get there and get it done. It's can be annoying because it's almost as though however much you do it by yourself, it's always going to be attached to your dad. And it's not a bad thing. And sometimes these people wish they had the exposure, they have the connections, or they have the relationships you have, because who doesn't want an open door?
True.
Right? Who doesn't want an open door? And, I will say I'm always fortunate. My dad always gave me the best. My mom gave me the best. And I have families around me who always open doors for me.
Yes.
And I'm privileged. I have mentors, I have friends.
Yeah.
And it's good to have people who are successful in your life.
That's so true.
Right.
Yeah.
And why do you want poverty? Why do you want an unsuccessful life? Whatever it is, so I don't take it to if people say, oh, you got that because of this person. Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
And I like that. And I'm enjoying it. And I'm going to show what this person's life has made my life.
Yes.
And I don't take it negative, but it can be annoying.
I think I never took it annoyingly, but I'm just very grateful and I appreciate what I have. And this is also why I said I want to give it back to people.
Yeah.
Because of all the resource I have or the things that I have, I want to give it back off.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's fantastic.
Give me a couple seconds to... Because if you talk about fear, I would relate to rats. But if you're talking about like fear in life. Yeah.
Yes, in life. Say it.
No, wait, I have to really think.
Okay. But that's good. That means you don't have a lot of fear in life.
Yes, I don't have a lot of fear in life. I think if you asked me a couple years ago, the answer might be like afraid of making mistake or afraid of not being perfect. This would be me answering a few years ago. But now I completely encourage myself and other people that should not be a fear. I should be feared that I'm not making mistake. Because that means that I'm not doing enough or that I'm not trying more that I want to do. And I'm not accepting the challenges. So now I would say, actually, I'm afraid that I'm being too comfortable. Okay. That's my fear.
What is it that you want to know about me, about the podcast, that you wanted me to ask that I didn't ask?
I think I can ask you a question to give you a feedback.
Okay.
What is the impact you want to bring?
I want to make a change. And I don't know what that would be, whether it's one person's life or a million people's lives. But one thing for sure is I don't want to lose the bottom line of this, which was to showcase the people around me, to let other people see talents, let other people see their brilliance, their knowledge, and help use that to change mindsets. I strongly believe in mindset. I think once you change your mindset into positive mindset, anything can happen. So for me, the impact of this podcast would be that people look back and say, hey, I listened to that person who came to your podcast and now I do things differently.
Right.
That for me will be success. Right.
Right.
It could be just the one testimony. And that for me, that's enough. This podcast has made its impact.
Awesome.
And similar to you, it's about giving back.
Right.
Right. So the people around me who have impacted my life, who I've met, who have opened doors for me or shared their life with me, I want to give that back to make an impact. So that will be it.
Can I also ask, what is your biggest fear?
My biggest fear is not doing.
Not doing.
So there's been times where I've had the ideas, I've thought of things, and I've never done it. So now I'm stepping into a phase of my life where whatever it is, ideas, big or small, I want to try it.
Yes.
I want to do it. So my biggest fear is having this doubt into someone else out there.
Right.
Yeah. Thank you, Kalii.
Thank you, Ernest.
Thank you so much. I think amazing conversation. I've enjoyed it. I'd love for you to come back again at some point. We just talk about something else. And maybe talk about the new business and how big it's become and how it's taken off. Thank you for joining us today. And I've enjoyed it so much. And I hope you watching us would also enjoy it. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Instagram. And make sure you share with people, because the little conversations you have can always make the big impact.